yourself as you go. You know, it's like a kid when you're in the third grade or second grade and you're mentally going over the multiplication tables. You know your stuff and you're just waiting for the teacher to call on you. That is the kind of vibe that happens on these mornings. I'm going to put Alisher up here as a speaker. I'm going to get, let's see, John up here. I hope that Cash Money Kev has his coffee, which is important. My voice is still rough. It turns out I have strep throat. I got it from the robotics kids. So it is what it is. Antibiotics work wonders. Thank God for innovation. Um, we are going to stick to the rules and we are going to only call folks up that are in the class. It's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't want to hear your voice. It's not that we don't value your presence. It's that we value the time and energy of the folks that are choosing to hack their own education. This is the third week. They've already invested in building out their projects. And so this is a rehash. It's more of us talking at than talking to. I apologize profusely for that because I know that some of you enjoy the conversation and the back and forth. But this is a new venue. This is a new way, a digital makerspace in teaching people how to hack their own education. And we're learning as we are going too. So just, I hope that you extend us mercy and some grace because we're going to frack it up, guarantee it. That is, we fail faster. It's just the easier way to do it. I'm going to test some mics here. Alisher, how are you this morning, friend? Can I test your mic, hon?
I'm good. I'm just getting the live stream started, logging in. I haven't touched this project since last week. So it'll be good.
Shame. You're supposed to visit it multiple times in a week. Your mic sounds awesome. Now I can go over to Cash Money Kev so we can give you some wiggle room and you can start up the live stream. For those of you that are new or listening in on the recording, live streams, everything's recorded here. So you can always go back at your own leisure and work at your own pace. If something is going too fast or something is just not clicking, this is the opportunity to just dig deep and suss out those answers. If you do have my AI tutor, of course, I love that. I love Pixio too. Those are two suites of tools offered by Tech in Schools. My AI tutor it does the heavy lifting. Not gonna lie, especially for you non-developer, non-coder, non-left brain, computer people, where I am firmly planted. Some of the things that we are doing and pushing files and doing very, codey type things, that's not my superpower. And thankfully, AI and the tools that Tech in Schools have created do the heavy lifting. They can augment my skills and fill in those weak gaps. And so I'm really, really thankful for that. I see that Zoo is here. Very lovely to see you, my friend. I also see what comes to mind. I noticed that your account is no longer private. You must have lost your blue check also. So I'll make sure to add you to a sticky note to try to interact with your content so that the algorithm will be kind to you, my dear. We all have to help each other in whatever way we can. I see that Cassandra has also arrived. I love Cassandra. She's such a good soul. And our dear star boss. Lovely, lovely. Okay, we have a full class. Cash Money Kev, can you test your mic and then I'll jump in and ask John what's the hand that he has up. I want to make sure that you can talk before we get too far into it.
Good morning, Sarah. Thank you. You're so funny. I love you so much, and I hope your voice is feeling a lot better. And strep is no fun. I myself had a very cold last night myself, and I had to boost up the heat, and it was like -5, and I was freezing with the cats. But I feel you, and my voice was a little raspy this morning.
Kids, when you're around high schoolers, they're your pathogens, man. You get everything from them. Yeah, but a good swab and some antibiotics works great. I'm so sorry you have cold, but I have no sympathies for you, my friend. It's
no, don't have. I don't need any sympathies. You're all good, Sarah. But guys, just a couple opening notes while Alisher is getting the stream all set up for today. I mean, I'm so proud of everybody that got all the work done last night. We got so much done from the logo. We got to make sure we're not getting sued. Pretty much, make sure all the Netflix, even Flix, I'd say, make sure that's gone because Netflix has some good lawyers. But guys, Cyril's website is a great template. He made his code open source, so if you'd like to start from there too, make sure you do change the code there as well. You don't want to just take Cyril's code and run with it, but it is super cool and a great example to look at and get some ideas and inspiration from. And also, we learned how to customize the Tailwind, and we also put the app into the cPanel so we can start getting more movies uploaded into our site. And also, just a couple more opening notes, guys. Be sure to check out the merch store, the ITT merch store. A couple new things on there that are super cool. And Josh just let me know this morning that the people that did get your orders in, the orders are being shipped out today. The whole supplier situation got handled, and it should be heading your way soon. So I'm super excited to see everybody get their ITT items. It's going to be super cool to see some pictures and happy faces and happy dances with them, the t-shirts and the coffee mugs. I'm super excited to see that. But without further ado, I'll let John, if you have a quick question, feel free to ask, brother.
I was just, I had it in my file manager, but if I lose my password to the cPanel, how do I get it? Because when I've gone on it and it says send the code to the email, I never get it.
All right,
Yeah,
this
John-
is an Alisher. Go ahead.
You'll DM Alisher in the back end, or Nick or Tech and Schools, and they'll get your account reset and squared away with you, brother. Sarah, I did forget one thing. I'm sending you the Christmas cookies as well, and you better be honest and let me know how they taste. If they taste bad, let me know. But I think these are probably an 11 out of 10 new cookie that you've never had in your life. So I can't wait to hear that.
I'm a
Alisher,
cookie collector, so yes, I like cookies. Thank you.
awesome. I love it. Alisher, is the stream all ready, or did you need a little bit more time?
No, we can get started. I think I just have to see where my movies are. My database got paused, so I just have to restart it.
I'll give you some time, Alisher. One of the things that is very cool about the program that we've set up here is that Wednesday nights and Thursday mornings are different because we all learn differently. Certain turns of phrases, ways of presenting the information, they hit differently for each one of us. It's an untraditional thing to talk about, but when you were a kid sitting in a brick and mortar school, you had a set curriculum, and if you didn't fit in with that curriculum, tough nuggies, as they used to say. Now we can tailor the experience to fit the way that you personally learn. And so when Alisher is working on his stuff, Alisher is going to present stuff that's different than last night. It's the same course, it's the same project, it's the same bits and pieces, but it doesn't have the same necessarily nuances that Ross had last night. And for many people, the things that you learn in the conversation on Wednesday night, it fills it out a little bit more. So if this is just you're showing up on Thursday mornings, listening back on the recordings can sometimes help because we do move far quicker. Last night was a very quick class, under 3 hours, which is awesome. And we're condensing it down into an hour and some change, right? And yes, I am filling in a little bit for Alisher, but we want to make sure that the live stream's up and that he is in the right place too, because otherwise it doesn't do any of us any good. If for some reason you hit a snag, come on up into the speaker box, obviously, and show your screen if you're able, or just use and abuse the purple bubble that gets attached to the space itself, which is also very helpful for our fellow students and our future dwellers, because we do have people in all different time zones. I think the only continent that we're not represented in at this moment is Antarctica, which is funny because some of the students that I help mentor are from Michigan State University, and they do take travels to Antarctica. So, I mean, in theory, it could stretch it a little bit, but the point is that there are a lot of people here from a lot of different areas, and learning is very unique to each of us. So extend yourself some grace. Um, do the thing that you need to do in order to understand and own this information. You're going to void warranties. You can't own anything until you void the warranties and make it your own, whatever way that looks like. My way of looking at this material, copying pages down, writing in the margins, that's my learning style. Yours might be different. So Alisher is very gifted as a communicator and as an instructor. He has the patience of a saint, I can tell you firsthand. And John, I have erased my cPanel more times than I can tell you. And they have, this is exactly why I have Mighty Networks or AI Mastery. I do pay that subscription. It's $30 a month, and it keeps my cPanel alive and make sure that I don't frack it up, because I am not technically gifted in that respect. I might have a magnetic personality, but it just erases the technology. I think that's how it works. So it is something I recommend for folks. Alisher, are you ready to go, hon?
Yeah, I am ready to get started.
Perfect. It's all
I have my
yours.
project. Okay, so week one, we set up this project, right? And we got this project to where you had it running locally, you didn't have any movies. Week two, we took this project to Vercel. So this for me is online. It's a public link that everybody can access. People can sign up. And we started adding some movies. Right? So hopefully some of you added movies. I'll go over that as well. And now week three, we started to customize it. We changed out the logo, so it doesn't say Netflix anymore. And you also had an opportunity to change this whole background. So that's what we'll focus on today. There's a few more things that we're going to go through, buttoning this up, setting it up. But let's see, is everybody up to the part where they have this online and they have at least one movie so you can see what it looks like? Give me a thumbs up. So is everybody pretty much done with what we did in week two? But you guys had a whole week, then you guys had some of yesterday. Ross went over a lot of it again. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of a review, right? We'll put one of our movies up. I have some AI generated stuff that I can add. Now, the way we add movies is through Mongo. And you guys all remember Mongo? That's our database. It's going to look something like this, green website. And in here we have our collections. We have our database cluster. And you'll see you'll have users, you'll have sessions of people who are logged in, and then you have movie. And movie is where we have all of these options. Now, I just imported the example. So that's why when you go to my website, you see that it's not secure, first of all, because the example has certain unsecure videos and video links. And you see the first example, I think, let's see, it's the claymation example. It's actually, it's my video that I uploaded to Upload Thing last week. This week I'll use a cPanel, so you guys can see how to use cPanel. So let's try to change this next one, Sentinel. And you can go to your database, and whenever you're editing your database, if you want to add a movie, if you want to add a value here, well, you can actually, where is it? Insert document. And then you can insert it with JSON, right? We went over how to use AI to get the same structure. And if you need the structure, it's somewhere in Slack. You can scroll through and you'll find a little JSON structure for a movie. But for me, since I already kind of have these in here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the existing one. So for example, here I have Sentinel. Insert this one. I have a bunch of Superman AI generated videos. So this will be the Superman one. And I can just double click and type in there. This is how you can edit your database. Description, I'll give it a short description. Superman short generated in MotionCraft Ultra. I was testing some of the tools. And now here we have our video, which should be a link to an MP4, and we have our thumbnail. And so these are the two things that we can upload that we can upload to cPanel. Now let's see, I'm going to log into my cPanel. So the way you log into cPanel is you go to the hosting website, and the hosting website is going to have all of your credentials. All right, so when I log in, here I have a few. I have test, I have Alistair test, which I think is the one that works. And whenever you click on any of these orders, you're going to see you get a link, you get a username, and you get a password. So these are your cPanel credentials. Now, you want to copy that link because actually clicking on it doesn't work. There's some weird linking issue there. And then all I gotta do is copy over the username and the password. What I recommend, if you're gonna be adding a lot of videos and a lot of thumbnails here, and you're gonna be coming back to cPanel, and if you got like AI Mastery and you're gonna be coming back to it, every day, keep this bookmark, right? Keep the cPanel link bookmark, save your username, save your password, and that way you don't have to come back to this hosting website, this purple website, because you already have your login, right? You don't need to worry about logging into something to see your login. You can write this out and have it somewhere separately, and that way you avoid an extra step. Now in my cPanel, I already have a bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna try to clean it up a little bit. The first thing you guys will notice is everybody gets a domain. You get a TSI program domain. So when I go to my domain, here's everything that I have from the previous seasons. Now, I'm going to go to File Manager. I'm going to make a new folder called Season 6 for this. Season 6. Try not to make any spaces in your folders or special characters. And then in Season 6, I'm going to add... Well, I'm going to start adding the movies. That's really the only thing we'll be adding here. So I'm going to do the first one, Superman. And with this one, you need a video and a thumbnail, right? That's what our platform needs in order to properly display a video and completely change what you see here. So for example, when I go to Sentinel, here's the thumbnail that you see, this picture. And the video is when you actually play the video or whenever like auto plays in the background here. So this is your video that gets played. So those are the two things that we need to upload. So I'm going to upload, and I'm going to look for two things that I can put in there. I have a bunch. So this one's actually not too bad. Here's my video, and I have a picture as well. Here's my image. And unfortunately, these images are giant. You might want to keep the size of your images a little bit lower so it loads better. But otherwise, it should be good. And now that's how I upload into cPanel. I go to File Manager, I make a folder so it's nice and separate. I separate everything out, and then I start uploading. And then in cPanel, you can also rename. Right, so these are very long names. I want to make them simpler. So I'm going to click the rename button. I'm going to keep it MP4, and instead I'm going to change it this whole name. So Superman.mp4. And then we need to change the thumbnail as well. And now all I have to do is just get the URL for this. And the best way to get the URL is to actually navigate to it. Right, I'm going to go to my domain, which should have a folder structure here. I'm going to go to Season 6. Let's select Superman. And here I have both of my files where I can view them online. People can view them online. And all I have to do is just copy the URL that it gives me. And I think for most of you who got their cPanel yesterday, by now your cPanel should be fully secured. It runs automatically. And this will be my video URL. And then I'm going to go back and get my thumbnail as well. Here's the video URL. Here's the thumbnail that I can just copy over. Same way I copied the video. And now I can update this database. It says duration 15 minutes. We can put duration 15 seconds. It's actually 10 seconds, I think. 10 seconds. And let's see. Once you update, it'll give you a little green that your database has been updated. And now all I really have to do is refresh. And I'll have a new entry right here. And that's how you go on and start changing a lot of these videos. So we can do another one. I have 4 in here. You ideally want to fill up either 4, 8, or 12. I have a bunch of AI generated videos. So let's do another one. I have a few funny ones too. So this one's going to be the detective noir type video that I have. So another folder, I'm going to call it whatever. In my case, I'll call it noir. And down here, I want a video and a thumbnail. So for video, I have one right here. Now for a thumbnail, I don't really have one. But I can grab a screenshot if I really need to. So let's upload the video, and once we check this, I'll grab a screenshot. Right, I have to go to my link. Go to season 6. Here's the video. And from here, I can just grab a screen cap. This is my profile picture. This is from Motioncraft Ultra. If you guys have tried subject to video yet, it's pretty on point. Now all I have to do is just drag it in from wherever I have my screenshots. Pictures, screenshots. And again, you want to rename them so they're a little bit easier to access. Make sure your videos are MP4. And now all I really have to do is just get the link to them and edit the database entry. So let's check this out. Here's the next database, Tears of Steel I have in here. I'm going to change this to subject, or I think it's text to subject example, or subject to video example. Subject to video. And there is a limit on these cPanels that you guys get through the season of about 5 gigs, so just be aware of that. But other than that, if you upgrade it, your limit should be lifted. So you could be uploading gigabytes and gigabytes of data. I think this is 5 seconds. And again, that's how you edit the example. You click update, and once you refresh your page, you'll see it reflected. Any questions about adding movies before we go on to changing the logo?
Yeah, just My Mongo account, the way I've been doing it is to go through the code studio and then GitHub, not through Mongo when I add code.
Yeah. So hold on. First of all, if you're editing these movies and you're editing these thumbnails, there's no need for you to go through Visual Studio Code and through GitHub. It's all already in Mongo. This is live data that's being pulled from Mongo. There's nothing you can do in GitHub or Visual Studio Code that will edit this besides editing the Mongo. So if you're editing in Visual Studio Code and you're editing in GitHub, you are not editing the movies. You are then editing the structure of your app and the way this whole thing looks, not the movies themselves. Very important distinction to make. The movies are in a live database that is in Mongo. If you're not in Mongo, you cannot edit the movies.
I'm not able, whenever I could try to connect to Mongo, it doesn't connect to my data.
You don't have a site on Vercel that you can log into?
I do. I have everything set up.
So
but
if you have a site on Vercel that you can log into, then your Mongo is connected and live, right? You just need to figure out which Mongo it is. Do you know which one it is?
Yes, but every time I connect to Mongo through the right account, it doesn't say there's any data in it.
Here, okay. Let's do this. You hop on stream. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to send the stream link, and then I'll show you where you can add this data because it is there. You probably don't have any movie data, but if you're able to log in, then your Mongo is connected. And there is something there if you're able to make an account, right? Your account is there. So let me get you a link to StreamYard. You can hop in. It'll be in Slack, and we'll take a look at your issue. And then we'll go on to changing the logo and the picture.
Thank you.
So here, you
Hey,
come Slack.
John. Oops, sorry, Alisher. Sorry to step on your toes. John, when you're on a Mac, so you're already doing things on hard mode, right? What you need to do is have a separate, when you favorite all of these windows, because sometimes, especially with Macs, the lines get crossed. And so what Alisher was trying to explain to you is that you have to really lean into, like Mongo, for instance. You don't want to circumnavigate the systems that are already in place because you're rewiring your brain to actually kind of rely on the system to figure it out and to populate it, right? And it's tough because you already have a way of doing things and a way of coding and a way of understanding the mechanisms. This is completely different. So when you make sure to bookmark and have those windows accessible, it helps out a huge amount. And it's a different workflow. But if you can be disciplined and train yourself to follow that workflow, it's going to make your life so much easier and you'll get to level up faster, put it that way. So just don't be frustrated, because I know it's frustrating because you're looking at it going, well, I'm doing this system, and it's supposed to work. And sometimes it doesn't. Listen really carefully to how Alisher and especially Ross last night, how they're doing it. It's a very specific workflow that feels counterintuitive. I know because I fought with it the entire first season because I was just like, no, this is not how you do it. It's a different workflow. And once you figure that one out and you maybe visualize it on a whiteboard or a sticky note so that you're constantly going back to it and saying, nope, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way so that I'm not crossing the streams. It sounds counterintuitive, but just trust me, your future self is going to love you for the breadcrumbs. You know what I mean?
Yes, I have bookmarks. I use Brave and I made a custom window with bookmarks just for the tech in schools. So.
Well, Brave can also be a problem too, but that's a whole nother issue. But yeah, I just want to make sure that you're encouraged because I know how frustrating it is. But go ahead, Alisher. I'm sorry to interrupt you. And it's something that we have to point out in every recording because you're not the only person with that issue. I will guarantee it. So go ahead, Alisher.
Yeah, you really just need to know what controls what, right? And how to navigate that particular app. And typically, the way it works, once you learn one, and once you realize how Mongo works and how you can navigate through Mongo, you'll be able to navigate through your other database stuff as well. Because I think somebody yesterday mentioned Neon. There's Supabase, there's Firebase. They're all about the same. It's all just knowing how to navigate one. And once you know how to navigate one of them, you kind of can get a good good positioning within the others, just like coding language. Once you learn how to navigate Next or any of these coding languages, realizing how the rest of the
You're all good, Alisher.
I was
Sorry,
just gonna
Sarah. I
say
didn't
we're
know.
all good.
I didn't want
Go
to
ahead,
step on your toes, but
Cash.
thank you again, Alisher. I see. What comes to mind has maybe a quick question. Um, and I want to thank you, Alisher, and John, for you guys. I know it's all good that it went a little long. It was worth it. Just to see, people get the, you can literally hear John's hands when he was getting excited. He was rubbing them together. He's like, yes, like it finally worked. And you hear Sarah talk about those moments all the time, and they are truly priceless in here. And it's super cool to see. And Masha was too, also cheering you on, John, in the comment section. I don't know if you had time to see that. It was pretty cool to see everybody, rallying in real time to come together and watch it succeed. Uh, Before we go into closing notes, do you have like a quick comment or something to say? What comes to mind? And Masha, I see your hand went up too. We'll go to Masha right after.
Yes, I do, and I don't expect to go through it. I actually did have to start over, and the problem that I'm running into now is that, like, when I do NPM, I keep getting NPM error code, NPM error, and when I try to ask Gemini Pro, it says something about the JSON file. So can I just screenshot and send it? Because I tried to watch the replay on YouTube, but after a certain point, the sound is completely gone. And then when I tried to watch the replay from, not for the recap, it's just gone after a certain point. And when I tried to watch week one, the thing, like, the sound echoes. So is there a place I could just watch it straight through or anything so I could follow along and try to do it again?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the recap because we have them all on YouTube. I've posted that in Slack before. But yes, send me a screenshot, DM me a screenshot in Slack. That's very important that you do it in Slack because I can see the picture better. Otherwise, on X, it's very hard to see the picture. It's hard to respond with links. X blocks a lot of things that I can't send. I'm not sure about the npm install error. Once I see what the error is, I'll send you a response. And I suggest you do it now too, while I'm still in Slack before I move on to like the next part of my day.
Okay, I will.
Awesome. Feel free to ask a question, Masha, or if you just had a quick comment, feel free.
Awesome. Awesome. Hi. I don't want to steal much of your time. I just had an issue yesterday. I noticed that my repo on Git is different than the one I've been working on. And I was wondering if any one of you guys maybe could help me sort this out in the back end. I don't know who would be available and willing to help me sort this out. So, because my question was, is it possible to change the location of the repo? So there's a mismatch, and I just want to get this sorted.
Yeah, so let's actually let's do it right now. Let's take a few minutes. If you want, hop in the live stream. The link is still in Slack. Just hop right in. We'll sort out. It's a good review of what you might have did yesterday with GitHub.
Oh,
So-
really, Alicia? Aren't you tired? I mean,
Yeah, let's go. 5 minutes. It'll be quick.
okay. Hold on. I need to find the link and then close this one off. Okay, hold on.
Masha, don't apologize either. That's why these classes are the way they are. It's the cleanup crew on Thursday mornings. Is that if you fractured up on Wednesday night, we come back in and we try to suss it all out, right? When you have a digital makerspace like this, in the real world, many folks have never experienced a makerspace or shared, work environment, a collaborative work environment where people are working side by side on their projects and helping one another in real time. In the real world, maker spaces, you're sitting there, and if you're frustrated, the person's sitting next to you. They have all their tools out too. And it's the symbiotic relationship. It's the iron that sharpens iron that actually helps our own understanding. And what the beautiful thing about this specific setup is that a lot of times students are helping students, right? It's like a Montessori classroom. We forget about that. If you're in a Montessori classroom, and I'm talking like first and second grade, everybody helps each other, you know, and you can instantly see when something goes terribly wrong because it's just, wow, that thing does not fit in that thing. And it's instant and you can see it. And when you see it, then you're able to fix it. But that cross pollination is really important. And for all intents and purposes, we're adults sitting in a Montessori classroom right now. We're working side by side with one another. We have this instant feedback. And to teach really is to learn twice. So when you're extending help, maybe you might be stuck yourself. And I can tell you this happens a lot where you're stuck yourself, you can't figure it out. And you don't know what to do. You don't know how to progress forward. And someone comes along and says, "Hey, I have an issue." And you're like, "Hey, that's the one thing I can fix today. I can't fix anything else, can't fix any of my own stuff, but I can fix that one thing." It's amazing because it unearths within you different skill sets and usually helps you yourself in sussing out the solution that you couldn't see before. So, I just think it's beautiful, Masha, that you were here last night very late, that you're here now, and your willingness to share your
just changing the way it looks. And then next week and the following week, we'll start adding more to it.
Perfect. Jump in, Cash Money Kev. Tell us what we need to know and we'll close this down.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Thank you, Alisher, again for another great recap. You know, quick little closing notes. I know we're going long. I won't keep you much longer. I promise. Be sure to check out AI Builders tomorrow with Sharon and Alisher. If you want to, get your coding muscles even more leveled up and stronger, just stop by there. It is awesome. And also check out Sharon's What the LLM magazine. She's got some great stuff going on over there, along with the new Substack. I see, Sharon, that looks super cool. Also, shout out Luke for all the hard work he's put into the ITT website. Be sure to check out the merch store, the new donation button to help people in need get the laptops and tools to be able to get change their lives, and maybe come to an ideas to impact class or two, and learn how to integrate AI into their business ideas. Be sure to also hit that reminder, guys, for ITT number 80 for this weekend. I put it up in the Jumbotron. It's the newest one up top. Also, if you're trying to pitch your business project or idea, be sure to fill out the pitch application on the website. It's super easy, super fast, and it helps us get a whole list together and make sure people that want to get the feedback and find the partners or investors for their business project or idea, that they get the chance to do so. So thank you again, once again, Sarah and Alisher. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. Also, fellow students, be sure to innovate throughout your Thursday. It's an Innovate Thursday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll leave you with the famous last 3 words.